but he appeared as a devotee. He appeared as a devotee to taste the sweetness of the transcendental mellows of himself, which is tasted by Srimati Radharani, the greatest of all devotees. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sakrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhana Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे दुःखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरोऽन्दिनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम् Hare Krishna. so, so this is the last chapter of third canto, I think. And here, if you see the first verse of this chapter starts with, thus Devahuti, mother of Lord Kapila and the wife of Kardamuni, became free from all ignorance concerning devotional service and transcendental knowledge. Yeah. She offered her obeisances unto the Lord, the author of the basic principles of Sankhya system of philosophy, which is the background of liberation. And she satisfied him with the following verses of prayers. So this chapter mainly deals with the Devhuti's mother Devhuti prayers to Lord Kapil Dev. So we all know the pastime, right? When Kardamuni was present on this planet, when Kardamuni was along with Devhuti, Mother Devhuti took the association of Kardamuni for granted. Like she was very much concerned about having children. So the same way, the if you see the pastime of Chitraketu, Chitraketu was the king of entrepreneurs at that point of time. And once Angira Muni comes to his palace and he started explaining about the how to perfect one's life and giving the spiritual discourses to Chitraketu Maharaj. So, but nothing was going into his brain. He is because his mind is fully occupied that no, I wanted to get children. Or somehow or other, I want to get children. That's it. So he married so many wives to get the children, but he was not able to get a child. So Angiramani observed this. This person is just listening, but for the sake of listening. But his mind is into something else. So Angiramani asked, what is bothering you? Then for that, Chitraketu Maharaj says, with respectively to Angiramani, saying that I have everything, but I'm longing for a child. So that is the position. Like if somebody who has material desires, somebody whose mind is fully absorbed in getting something material, will never be able to take this spiritual knowledge. So Then Angiramuni, what did he do? He, with his spiritual power, he gave the benediction for the Chitraketu Maharaj that you will get a child, and this child will be the cause of your happiness and also cause of your suffering. So that's why then Chitraketu Maharaj gave, Chitraketu Maharaj elder wife gave birth to a child, and later on we know that, right? Like how that child was poisoned by his co-wives, her co-wives, and uh, and then this led to ultimate misery of Chitraketu Maharaj. So in the same way, here Devoti also. Here she was, when Kardamuni was here, she was very much upset. I wanted to get children. I wanted to like a mother, like she was thinking like that. So, but when Kardamuni gave her, Kardamuni created a wonderful aerial mansion, and then uh, she gave her like 9 children, 9 daughters, and then one was about to leave. Then she realized, Array, I had the association of the greatest personality of in the earthly planet. But I just took his association only for the material things. When he asked me, what do you want? Or I would like to give anything for you. I only asked for material things. Material things means like having children. Means she was thinking that she being the daughter of Swayambhu Manu, she was very much well educated. She was very much in knowledge that the goal of life is not to get anything like name, fame, or family, or anything of this world. The goal of life is self-realization, or knowing about God and knowing about ourselves and our relationship with God. So that's why, like, she begged Kardamuni, and she said, give me one more child, because after you go, these daughters might get married to their husband and they may also go. I need somebody to be with me. Then uh, at that point of time, Kardamuni stays back, and then he also says that don't repent, don't fault find your about, like, with yourself. And he also said that how Supreme Personality of Godhead himself will appear as her son. Such is the elevated, exalted position of Mother Devavati. So that's why, like, approaching the Lord, or the devotees of the Lord, for even for anything material is not wrong, because Krishna himself in Srimad Bhagavatam says, right, Akama sarva kamava moksha kama udaratir. Means anybody can approach Lord if they have any desires also, because Lord is a perfect person to approach rather than approaching any other demigods, or believing in one's own uh, karma or one's own endeavors to fulfill their desires. So when we approach Lord, even for the material things, what will happen is Lord will automatically purify us of that material desire and fulfill that material desire, to show that the whatever the desire that you have is not all in all. There is much more to for you to accomplish. That is also proved in the case of Dhruva Maharaj also. Dhruva Maharaj went to Lord expecting a kingdom greater than his grandfather. So when Lord appeared, he first enlightened Dhruva Maharaj by touching his forehead with the conch shell. And as soon as Lord touched the forehead of Dhruva Maharaj with the conch shell, immediately he realized that he has come for broken pieces of glasses. Means the kingdom which is greater than his Brahmaji is Draupad. He is going to get to Draupada. He considered that is insignificant. And he prays to Lord, my Lord, I came to you for asking for broken pieces of glass, but I got the rarest diamond. But anyhow, Lord gives him the benediction. You be the king of Draupada, Dhruva planet, which is actually indestructible planet in this metal creation. And after Lord Hari left, Dhruva was repented. What a foolish person am I! I asked for this an insignificant benediction. I would have asked him to go. I would have asked him to go back to Godhead and be with the Lord, because that one moment of association of the Lord, when Lord appears in front of Dhruva, he could see the beauty. He could experience the spiritual bliss. And if a person goes back to the spiritual world, he will be experiencing that such kind of bliss for good. Means he will never come back to this material world again. Now, because Dhruva got cheated of Lord's association, he has to stay in the material world. He was very much repentant. So that's why Lord intentionally doesn't appear in front of us in this material world, because as soon as Lord appears, we will, in whatever condition we may be in, we'll leave everything, and we get attracted to Lord Krishna. Because Lord Krishna is so beautiful, Lord Krishna's opulences of beauty and other aspects of Krishna are so nice that no force in this material world can retain us from getting attracted to him. So, in the same way here, Mother Devhuti also in the but why doesn't Lord appear is because we have these desires which we wanted to enjoy in the world of Krishna. And when we go back to spiritual world, it might not be possible for us to again enjoy enjoyment of Krishna. So Lord keeps us in this material world as long as we have that desires to enjoy enjoyment of Krishna. I wanted to control myself. I want to create for myself. So which is not related to Krishna consciousness. So that's why one has to purify one's own intelligence with proper association, with proper hearing, and then through that hearing process, one will be placed on the platform of Bhakti Yoga, and one will realize what is the significance of any material position independent of Lord. So here, Mother Devhuti also, after hearing the transcendental knowledge of Sankhya philosophy and of Bhakti Yoga philosophy, her ignorance was totally removed. Now she offers prayers which are very wonderful. Later in this chapter, we'll get all those verses. Okay. So if you see, then what is actually making us to forget about ourselves? What is actually making us to stay in this material world? It is ignorance. If you see in the second canto, there is a section which explains about how Lord Brahmaji has created the ignorance first, so that any living entity coming into this material world will be automatically covered up with the ignorance. There are 5 types of ignorances. They are called, first one is called tamaha, means ignorance of, tamisha, ignorance of material conception of life. So this tamaha represents darkness about oneself. So basically, everybody is a part and parcel of Krishna. He is a spirit soul. But as soon as spirit soul comes into this mental world, he will be covered with the illusory energy of the Lord. And that will make us to forget about our real identity. And then after forgetting after real identity, then that living entity will be put in moham. Moham is thinking oneself as the body. And we see everything, whatever we think and whatever we can correlate in this material world are all connected to this body only. So as soon as we are in that position, we started identifying ourselves with the body. Because this body came certain family, this body will identify that I am a part of that family, I am a member of that family. Because this body took birth in certain part of world, in a certain country, we said, oh, I'm a citizen of this country, I'm this, I'm male, female, all these bodily conceptions, okay? After this moham, then it will lead to Mahamoham. Mahamoham is false proprietorship. Means now we started identifying with the material conceptions that are related to the body, and whatever related to the body. Okay, this body, you belong to this family. This family has so much of properties. Okay, this much land, this much, and this body, this no, like a certain position. So this will lead to Mahamoha, means false proprietorship. Nothing belongs to us, nothing belongs to any living entity of this material world. But everybody starts thinking like, no, I'm the king, I'm the queen, and this is my reign of control. No? So that is the Mahamoha. And then after Mahamoha, next comes Tamishra. When our desires, Tamishra means anger upon frustration. So when our desires are obstructed, means when our sense of enjoyment is uh, interrupted, then we'll become angry upon the source of interruption. Maybe it may be another person or anything it may be. We try to avoid that interruption of our happiness in this material world, and then we become angry with the source of that person. Means anybody interrupting our sense enjoyment, we become angry upon them. That is called Tamishra. Then above that is Andhatamishra. Andhatamishra means unconscious state due to this anger. Unconscious state due to this getting oneself lost in the material existence. So that can be also as considered as death. Okay. So so this verse says, Atahtam. Okay. So then what is the best way to get out of this material existence? What is the best way to get oneself saved from this material existence is, it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam, Jivanti Sanmukhatam Bhavadiya Varta, means just by listening to the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can get automatically liberated. Even if oneself staying in this material world, he can get liberated. So there is ambitious as a philosophy. One has to experience the heaven on this earth before going back to Godhead, before going to heaven. Means one has to uh, fully develop this Jivan Mukta stage. Jivan Mukta stage means you are there in this material world, but you are not of this material world. So, in the same way, before going to back to Godhead, one has to develop that kind of renunciation of this material world. And how can we, a jiva covered with so much of layers of ignorance? So you see these layers of ignorance, Tamishra, Andhatamishra, Moham, Mahamoham. Those layers of ignorance are very, very strong. Not even the greatest of the personalities of this material world, just like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and other demigods, cannot be able to overcome these layers of ignorance. But how can a insignificant living entity, jiva, like us, will be able to overcome this ignorance and can remember Krishna and then develop knowledge about our real Swarupa, real nature, and then aspire to go back to Godhead is just by hearing the glories of Krishna. Just by hearing Krishna Katha regularly, one will be automatically cleansed of all these material conceptions and will be placed on the transcendental platform. One can attain liberation. So, so when regularly starts hearing this Mohapatala, these coverings of ignorance will be easily removed. Because devotional service to Lord is natural to us. There is no separate endeavor required. When Prabhupada came into this Western world, and some people opposed, why are you coming into this world? What are you going to give us? And Prabhupada said, I'm not going to give anything new to you. I'm just going to give you what you already have. I just wanted to revive that knowledge, because the relationship with Krishna is always present with the Jiva and Krishna. Eko bahunam yo vidati kama. One living entity is fulfilling the desires of all other living entities. That one living entity is Krishna. And we have to revive that relationship with Krishna. That's what Prabhupada said. So that is the nature of the self. The nature of the self is, it is part and parcel of Krishna, and it is always in loving relationship with Krishna. Only thing is, we have to revive that consciousness. And as soon as that loving relationship is between Jiva and the living entity and the Lord is revived, then there is nothing of this material world which can actually stop from getting attracted to Lord. And as soon as this attraction towards Lord and his pastimes and his devotees develops, immediately one will be easily able to transcend this modes of material nature and then aspire to go back to Godhead. So for that, there are two ways one can go back to Godhead. What is stopping the Jiva from going back to Godhead is the karmic reactions that it has accrued from different lives. So the living entity, Acharya says that there are two ways that the Jiva can go back to Godhead. One way is that Jiva has to suffer all the sinful reactions that it has got through different lifetimes, and without performing additional sinful reactions. Means you pay off all your debts without taking new loans. So that is one way. And then you suffer, which is unlimited number of sinful reactions. There is no limit to the amount of sinful reactions that we have. Especially a person in this age of Kali, a person who takes birth in this age of Kali means it is a mountain loads of sinful reactions that are coming from various lifetimes. It is said that we had Satya Yuga, we have Treta Yuga, we have Dwapara Yuga. So all three yugas we failed. We failed in the 3 exams. So this is our 4th attempt in the Kali Yuga. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Mahavadanyaya. He will actually give the love of Godhead to the most unqualified persons. Means, like for example, somebody has to get a job, or somebody has to get some anything like that. If he has to pass an exam, he was given chance 3 times. 3 times means not only 3 times, three yugas. In each yuga, we might have taken unlimited number of births. So that way, we have gone through unlimited number of births, and still we are not on the platform of getting liberated from this material existence. So, and finally, the mercy is the only means by which one can attain perfection. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes in this age. Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give his love of God. Okay, you will be able to achieve love of Godhead when you become purify yourself and then come back to me. But you will never be able to come back to me, especially the Kali Yuga cases. So first of all, I will give the love of Godhead. Then you experience it, you take it and live with it, and then you will be easily able to go back to Godhead. That's why, in one sense, somebody is giving this job offer, or somebody is giving this result. For example, if somebody runs a race and in order to win an Olympic gold medal, he has to run a race and then get qualified to achieve that gold medal. But in terms of when it comes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I will first give you the gold medal. or give you the price, then you can run how much ever you can. So that running is only for the sake of formality. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming first, giving the benediction first, and then making us get attracted to him, and then helping us go back to Godhead. Just by hearing and chanting about the glories of God, glories of Krishna, we can easily get liberated in this age of Kali. That's why Kalot Sankirtana is the most amazing benediction of this age. Okay. Now, but how can we get connected to, how can we get entitled to that benediction? How can we get fortunate enough to have that benediction to us is only by the mercy of Guru. Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Rata Bija. So the living entity, the Jiva has been Brahmite, he has been wandering through the different Brahmandas in this material world, and it is not getting settled anywhere. Sometimes he'll take birth here, spend an entire lifetime in this family struggling and trying to get happiness and give that role, and then again go and take birth in certain different species, different altogether new setup, and he totally identifies himself with that. Okay, now you are in this family, or now you are in this species. Now you are yourself identify. Oh, I'm a human being. I'm a person of this family. And you put all your energy, all your strength to maintain that position. And then at the end of life, helplessly you give up that position. And then material nature, according to the qualification that we have, according to the our nature, what type of karma that we have to go through in the next life, material nature will put us in totally different situation. Whatever we may be in this present, for example, in this age, in this time, you might be in India, and because India, for Indians, the Pakistan is the enemy country. So throughout his life, he might be a soldier fighting against the Pakistan. So in the next life, if material nature thinks that okay, for this position, in the next life, if if he has to take birth in certain situation, his karmic his karma will be nicely balanced. Then the material nature will give the birth to Pakistan. Make one birth to take in the Pakistan, means whatever he was fighting against in the previous life, he will fight totally opposite to what he has done in the previous life. So that was example of India, Pakistan. It might be any situation. Okay. So, and Brahmanda Brahmite means not only like one country, different country. Brahmandas, it can be of this material, of this universe or different universe. The Jiva has been wandering through different species of life. They will go through helplessly all this samsara, but only when Bhagyavan, when its good fortune arises, then it will come to the situation where prasada of Guru Krishna, prasada, mercy of Guru and Krishna, by mercy of Guru and Krishna, that Jiva will get the seed of bhakti. And that seed of bhakti will be able to, when the Jiva takes that seed of bhakti and nourishes that seed of bhakti with care and attention, then that Jiva will be eligible to go back to Godhead. So that's why, like now we can see clearly, right? Yasya prasadat Bhagavat prasada. Guru or Krishna, anybody is fine. All we need to is get the mercy. So when Guru comes into our life means Krishna comes into our life. And there is no difference between Guru and Krishna. And once we until that point of time, until we take shelter of Guru or Krishna, we'll have to struggle in this material world helplessly. So that's why last verse of Bhagavad Gita, right? Sarva dharman paratyaja mamekam sharanam raja, means give up everything, all the dharmas, and just take shelter of me. And aham tvam sarva papabhyo mokshayasya means whatever Krishna said in the until that point of time one is one thing, and what Krishna is saying in this verse is on different level. Means you may or you may not be able to, you may do great things or you don't do anything. You may have a lot of knowledge, lot of piety, but you don't have any piety. Hmm? So whatever be the situation that you are in, you just give up everything and just surrender unto me. Then I will cleanse you myself, and then I will give the liberation. So here, surrendering to Krishna or his representative, who is the bona fide spiritual master, will help us get rid of all the ignorance, all the sinful reactions, all the that we have. In one shot, when we take shelter of Guru and we live our life to satisfy Guru, then all the reactions that we have to go through of different lifetimes will be automatically burnt off, and will be free from all the sinful reactions, and will be able to attain the liberation, or go back to Godhead. Okay. So for us, for us who actually fortunate enough to take the shelter of a lotus feet of a born spiritual master, uh, we we are the most fortunate. Hmm? Because basically a person who is in the process of bhakti yoga is not at all giving up anything. He doesn't give up anything at all. Just the way Ashtanga yogis or jnanis or karma yogis has to give, he doesn't have to give up anything. All he has to do is total everything. Okay, you are in the family, you are in the profession, you are in the society, whatever may be your position, all you have to do is just to go surrender to Guru, follow his instructions, and then lead your life according to the instructions. Just by doing that, everything gets purified. Everything becomes perfect. And at the end, he will be able to go back to Godhead. So whatever was binding, what binds the living entity to this material world is his tendency to enjoy. But when this jiva takes everything as prasadam, as a mercy of Lord, then the same things which binds us will be the cause of liberation. For example, if somebody eats something, Krishna says, right, they are eating the sin. But if the same thing which is offered to Krishna and we eat, then the same thing that we eat will liberate us. So it can be correlated to any aspect of our life. It can be family, it can be profession, it can be bodily maintenance, or anything that we may do. When we do it as a service to Krishna, then the same thing will be liberating. Prabhupada gives the example, right? A soldier kills enemy soldiers, hundreds and thousands of enemy soldiers. He'll be promoted and he will be awarded more and more. But if the same soldier comes home and picks up a quarrel with a neighbor and kills one person, then he will be arrested and put in the jail. So when we do everything for Krishna, whatever we may do, we will be glorified more and more. Maintaining family for the sake of Krishna, or singing for the sake of Krishna, or doing some service to us for the pleasure of Krishna. Everything will become our source of liberation, and we will be glorified more and more. But when we do one thing independent of Krishna, then that is actually binding us. So that's why all we have to do is just to transform our consciousness from being metal or self-centered consciousness to Krishna consciousness. As soon as we transform our whatever we are doing into Krishna consciousness, then we are in safe situation. So our Guru, by the mercy of Guru, when the Guru accepts means Krishna accepts. So that's why in Bhagavad Gita 9.13, Krishna says, right, Mahatmanastu Mam Partha, Daivim Prakriti Mashrita. Daivim Prakriti means just take the shelter of this bhakti process. Bhakti means, Daivi Prakriti means Srimati Radharani. So one who takes shelter of bhakti, one who takes shelter of Srimati Radharani means he becomes a devotee of Krishna. And Mahatmanastu Mambara Devim Prakriti Master. That kind of person, he will with clear conviction, he will do bhajan and will do the bhakti, and then will be able to attain the liberation. So that's what I can speak of. If anybody have any questions or comments, you can take here.
The first thing is Tama. What does it mean, Tama?
Tama means it's a forgetfulness of one's own identity, being a one forgetfulness of one's own swarupa. In the spiritual world, everybody has their own swarupa, a unique, distinctive relationship with Krishna. Then that he will forget that relationship and he will identify himself with the bodies. Just the way Prabhupada gives, right? A millionaire father, son of a millionaire, when he goes out of home, out of shelter of the father, he's on the street, he will be like a beggar because he lost his connection with his father. Then he has to struggle for everyday life, every meal and for everything he has to struggle for food, shelter, and everything. But as soon as that child comes back to the father, immediately everything will be automatically taken care.
The second, you said Ravana and Acharya said there are two ways. One way is all simple reaction.
Second way is to just surrender and to first way is to suffer all the sinful reactions by oneself and then not to commit any additional sinful reactions. The second way is just take shelter of Krishna and by perform bhakti. That when we take shelter of Guru and Krishna, then that will burn off all the sinful reactions and will automatically send us back to Godhead. So basically, the first way is very impractical way. Nobody will be able to get rid of their own karma by themselves. Either they will have to do good karma or bad karma. Good karma is like shackles of iron or shackles of gold. Bad karma is shackles of iron. So both are going to bind us. So either good karma, bad karma is going to bind us. But only when we take shelter of Guru or Krishna, all the reactions will be burnt off and then we will be able to attain perfection. Okay, Hare Krishna online. Anybody have any questions or comments? Okay, Renitya Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Sri Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.